Hi YouTube, hope you're doing well. Tom back again. I wanted to do a little haul video that I got a little while back, but before I get to that, I wanted to say hello to my first few subscribers. Thank you for coming on board. A couple of viewers amongst them. Hiya, I won't say who you are. Hope you're doing well. One in particular I did want to say a special thanks to is Greggy Boy. Greg, which commented because we posted the same video or on the same day, and we've been chatting a bit, and he's really been so welcoming. Um, Introduced me around to a few people and a couple of forums in the UK Fragcon community, and it was just really nice for somebody to bring you into the mix, especially when you're new, and show you around a bit. So really, thank you very much for that. And as we say in England, sort of sound as a pound, really good lad. I think you're on a trip at the moment. Hope that's going well. So, to all of you, thank you. And it's going to be a bit of a long one already, so I'm going to make it as short as I can. So, jumping straight in with the oils. They're from Al Haramain and Al Rehab, two houses from Saudi Arabia. I'll tilt my camera down so you can get an idea of what they are. So you've got most are Al Haramain, a couple of Al Rehabs. I'm going to go from my least favorite to my favorite and see what they are. The ones that aren't really complex or that I don't like or I don't think they're worth it, I'm going to skip right ahead through and just give you a good idea of what they smell like and just move on really. So they're from Saudi Arabia, Haramain, Al Rehab. A lot of them have this sweetness about them. It could be the oils they're mixed with. It could be a cultural thing also come from over there. There's a lot of sweetness in the air. A lot of flowers with the heat are very indolic, and in the early evening you smell them. So I think maybe culturally it's just there perhaps. I won't mention a lot of the fragrance notes and the ingredients in all of these. Some of them will put amouage to shame and don't give you a good idea of what the fragrance is like. Sometimes I'm pretty sure that doesn't have or has something else in it, so I don't think it's going to help. And as to the descriptions on the websites, and that's partially why I'm doing this video, they're just beyond useless. Little stories that go nowhere and have nothing to do with the fragrance. You know, if you don't want to do it, just don't bother. It's a bit rubbish. But so starting from my least favorite, it's the cheapest range from Al Haramain as far as I'm aware. It's about £1.25 in the UK, maybe $1.50 in the US. The range is off-putting already from the off. It's called Bling Bling. Oh yes. They're like 14cm pens. Really handy for traveling and all that. This one's called Black Pearl. It's a bit leaky, at least my one is. You won't see it, my camera's not that good, but a bit of sort of dewy juice on the lid. It just smells really, really, really sweet in a cheap way, bit designery. Smells like a really cheap version of Paco Rabanne's 1 Million. If anybody on the Black Pearl wore that, he'll be sore the next morning, I think. Maybe aimed at kids. I would probably skip this one. So the next ones come. It's the next sort of range above the pens, and they come in little 10mm glass roll-ons. Really, really handy. I love these ones. Are just really practical. One of them, the ball does tend to pop out a little bit for the money. These ones are about between £3 and £4 a pair, depending where you shop. You can buy them online in a couple of shops, eBay, East End of London maybe, and so on and so forth. If you've got a local sort of Muslim community, or just a real ethnic diverse one, you might be able to find these in the odd little sort of market store. Silver, again, has that sort of sweet base to it. The notes I get is a bit pushing it really. So like cinnamon, orange blossom, apple, amber, and vanilla. If you combine them all together into one sweet scent, that's what I get. There is a little bit of a freshness there on top. Not too complex, a bit designery. Don't expect too much. It's all right. Not my favourite. Got Haramain Safa as the next one. Still have that kind of ambiguous, sweet bottom to it. I don't know if it's the oil again. Bit designery, kind of like those ones you'd start off with, Hugo Boss, Calvin Klein. Your first few scents is, you know, a teen and very early 20s maybe. That's just that this one has, I get sort of like a peppermint spearmint vibe out of it. So like a spa, only of a designer spa. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a sweet. If you've ever been to the Hilton, etc., Crabtree and Evelyn do their spa range for them. It's got that kind of peppermint, minty vibe to it. Quite nice after a shower. It has got that sweet designery bottom, so a sweet spa smell. Again, it's all right. I wouldn't go out of my way to buy it again at all, but that's Safa. Next one is Black. Now the last three, because I done a split on these with my dad. These three are his. Now I have to say about all three of these, the two I've done in this one, I actually like him on him, especially Safa and Black. So it's not all that bad. Black is my favourite out of those three. I still have that sweet bottom base to it, but it has more of a clear, airy, refreshing top that comes through. So it's a lot more enjoyable, and they project, I must admit. I do compliment my dad on this one a lot, actually. I borrowed them off of him. So I think the freshness in this comes from sort of bergamot, mandarin, lemon and lily. I think it has more lighter notes on top, which is actually quite nice. Not quite spa, not like some of those old school kind of like Rive Gauche ones, but if you imagine sort of a kid's Rive Gauche, this would be it probably. Nice, nice enough. Now the next one along, they all come in this sort of like little cigarette packet type of thing. Not sure what all that's about, but it's nice enough. Is Latifah. Sweet, a bit more spicy. What I get from it is sort of like a sweet lavender, bit of mint. And the notes, if you find them, sometimes they don't even put the notes, which is fine because it smells nothing like it. There is no lavender in it, but that's what I get out of it. So, you know those, you can get sugar on fluffy sugar on a stick, and they kind of twist it around in a big pot. If you threw a bunch of lavender, mint into that, you kind of get this. It's got, amongst other things, wormwood, jasmine, iris, and vetiver, and I think that's kind of part of what gives me that spicy, sweet smell. Um, I like it. I didn't like it at first, but in a again, sort of like um, a slightly more grown up kids Rive Gauche after the last one. Nice after a shower. I wouldn't wear these out, but just around the house, perfectly fine. So now on to a couple from our Rehab. One I know has been talked about a lot. This one is a little one of silver. Now our Rehab Silver is compared a lot to being a dupe of Silver Mountain Water by Creed. Now when I first opened the little box and kind of sniffed it, I was like, bingo! No. Yeah, out of the box it does smell a lot like Creed Silver Mountain Water. Our Rehab, as opposed to our Haramain, their base has that kind of very sweet lemony smell that again does come across, at least to me, a little bit on the cheap side. They are very cheap. This one's probably about, this is 3ml, got it for about £1. Again, close to $1.50 in the US. Really nice little sort of shaped glass bowl, better roll on. Smell wise, not quite Silver Mountain Water. The top does, but once you put it on the skin, smell it. I would actually put this right in the middle between Bond No. 9's Hamptons. It has got that kind of salty, ambergris, slimy is a bad word, but if you smell Hamptons and ambergris, you know what I mean. It's got that sweet, salty smell. And Sean John's Unforgivable, specifically, not Millicene Imperial. It's not that fresh, and to me, in Sean John's Unforgivable, I don't like as much. It's got that sweet lemony base, so sweet lemon with a fresh, sweet, salty ambergris top. Lasts a fair amount, but you get more lemon than you ever do in Silver Mountain Water. But on top of the sweet, tarty lemon, you've got something that calms it down and tries to round it off, and that's where the Bond No. 9 Hamptons come in. For £1, it's nice. Go travelling with it. Goes in the new limits or whatever. On to the next one. Is our Rehab's Khaliji. Another roll-on, plain glass, cheap. It is cheap. I don't really mind. Another roll-on as usual. This one I've seen on Fragrantica, a couple of people sorry, compare it to Rose 31. We can get that swiftly out of the way. It's not Rose 31 at all. Rose 31 is lovely. Now I hated this at first. At first I scrubbed it off. It perseveres. It lasts for ages and ages and ages. And then I kind of sometimes would catch a whiff of it because it doesn't wash off at all. I go, that's really nice. What is that? And then I realise it's Khaliji, and I go, oh, that doesn't smell nice. And I'm still a little bit in between whether or not I like it, but why it's made it so far up towards the ones I like, because at least it's unique, and sometimes I like it and it does smell different. So what I get out of it is sort of, it's still got that lemony, slightly sweet base in a cheap way. Loads of musk, not necessarily that clean a musk, not animalic as well, just husky, musky, slightly musty musk with that lemon, and it has got sort of I think it's wildflower top, which adds a bit of sweetness. It's not rose, and once the quite aggressive lemony start and that musk loses its edge, sometimes it comes across nice. It does remind me a little bit of my nan's place, back where I grew up, which was in the Middle East. And yeah, you get the kind of old furniture and big leather covered pillows, etc., that you keep clean, but with so many knickknacks around, you do have that kind of musty smell, and from outside you get the odd sweetness and spice in the air. There is a little bit of spice in this that come through, that if you smelt it you wouldn't necessarily go, that's a nice smell, but it's familiar, at least to me, and it might be to some people, and because it is more complex than the rest, and sometimes I go, it does smell nice, it's worth giving it a try. It's like £1.50. This is a 6ml, but don't expect Rose 31. It's just so an astringent, spicy, sweet musk, a little bit dry, kind of lemongrass, lemon, and a little bit of sweetness from sort of a couple of flowers. So that's Khaliji. Now to the ones I'm really excited about. Actually, I just saw the time and it's running a little bit long now, so I'm gonna close it here and do a part 1, and I'll join the rest on in part 2 to make it a little bit more manageable. So stay put. I'll be right back with part 2. Take care, guys.